They stay up all night, unable to find peace, their mind consumed with thoughts of you. Over and over, they replay the past, thinking about the words left unspoken and the moments that slipped away. They wonder how they could have handled things differently, how they could have been more present, more honest, and more courageous. The weight of their regrets is heavy, pressing down on them like a storm they can't escape. At one point, they ignored you, pretending you didn't matter, pushing you aside as if you were insignificant. But now, they long for your attention more than anything. It is ironic, isn't it? When you were there, open-hearted and willing to give them your love, they couldn't see your worth. Now that you have pulled back, now that you have chosen yourself, they find themselves desperate for your energy. They scroll through old messages, revisit past conversations, and wonder if they still have a place in your life. Their rejection of you wasn't entirely about you. It was about others, about the opinions, judgments, and expectations that clouded their mind. They chose to listen to the voices around them instead of the truth in their heart. But karma has its way of teaching lessons, and now, those same people they prioritized over you are turning their backs on them. Relationships they once thought were unbreakable are crumbling. The very foundation they built without you is shaking, and they are beginning to realize that they made a mistake. The universe is making them feel the pain of their choices, and they are struggling to handle it. Through it all, one thing remains clear: you are unforgettable. No matter how much time has passed, no matter how much they have tried to distract themselves, the connection they share with you lingers. It isn't something that can be erased or replaced. Deep in their soul, they know that what they felt with you was rare, something not everyone gets to experience in a lifetime. It was not just attraction, it was something deeper, something spiritual. A connection like that doesn't just fade away. Your presence is still alive in their heart, and the intensity of your bond is growing stronger. They feel your energy even when you are not around. You may have noticed it, too, those sudden moments when you sense them, as if they are reaching out to you without speaking. Lately, they have even started appearing in your dreams. These aren't just random dreams, they carry meaning, messages from their soul to yours. Perhaps you have seen them apologizing, trying to communicate with you, or simply being close to you in ways they couldn't be in reality. This is their subconscious seeking you out, longing to bridge the gap that their actions created. But here's what they don't realize: you have changed. You have worked on yourself, healed from the pain they caused, and stepped into your power. The days of obsessing over them, of waiting for their attention, are gone. You no longer revolve your life around their absence. Instead, you have grown, evolved, and learned to find happiness within yourself. You have become stronger, wiser, and more confident in your worth. And yet, the universe has a way of shifting the energy between two connected souls. Just as you have detached, they have begun to feel an overwhelming pull toward you. They can't stop thinking about you, can't shake the feeling that they are meant to be with you. They are drawn to you in a way they don't fully understand, as if an invisible force is pulling them back into your orbit. The more they resist, the stronger the longing becomes. They often picture a future with you, imagining what it would be like to have a life together. They see themselves building a home with you, sharing laughter, creating memories, and perhaps even starting a family. The thought of it brings them both comfort and pain. Comfort, because deep down, they know you are the person they want. Pain, because instead of taking action, instead of reaching out and making things right, they remain stuck in their head. Their mind is a battlefield of fear and longing. One moment, they convince themselves that they need to come forward, to express everything they have been holding back. The next, they drown in doubt, afraid that it might be too late, that you might have moved on, that you might no longer feel the same way. This inner conflict keeps them paralyzed, unable to take the steps necessary to fix what was broken. But the truth is, the universe does not keep two souls apart if they are truly meant to be together. If they gather the courage to break free from their fears and follow their heart, things could change. If they choose love over pride, honesty over silence, and action over hesitation, there might still be hope. For now, they remain lost in their thoughts, missing you, yearning for your presence, and realizing just how much they let slip away. Whether they will act on these feelings or continue to be trapped in their own mind, that is something only time will reveal. I was too stubborn to see what we had at the time. I thought it was something casual, something fleeting, but I was wrong. It was only later that I realized the depth of what we shared. Looking back now, I see that it wasn't just another chapter in my life, it was something real, something raw, something unlike anything I had ever experienced before. You came into my life like a force of nature, shaking my world in ways I never expected. You challenged me like no one else ever could. You didn't just accept me blindly, instead, you held up a mirror to my flaws, making me see parts of myself that I had ignored for so long. You made me question my choices, my patterns, and the way I allowed my life to be controlled by others. With you, there was no pretense, no facade. We had our fair share of fights, arguments, misunderstandings, and moments of frustration, but we also had joy, laughter, and moments so pure that they felt like magic. I knew from the very beginning that it wasn't a fairy tale, far from it. Fairy tales are predictable, scripted, and too perfect to be real. What we had was far more meaningful. It was raw and imperfect, yet it was ours. I didn't need perfection because I had something better, authenticity. You captivated my heart from the very first moment, and no matter how much time passes, that hasn't changed. My heart and soul chose you, and no matter how much I try to rationalize things, there is nothing I can do to change that. Some connections are beyond logic, beyond reason, and ours is one of them. The truth is, I can't forget you, and the painful reality is that I don't want to. Even if forgetting would bring me peace, I would rather hold on to the memories, no matter how much they hurt. Because what we had was special, rare even, and it's not something that comes around twice in a lifetime. There are days when I try to convince myself that I should move on, that life is meant to keep going forward, but my heart refuses to listen. It's not just the memories that haunt me, it's the absence of your presence, the silence where your voice used to be, the empty spaces that you once filled so effortlessly. Sometimes, I feel like I'm losing my mind when I don't feel your energy around me. It's an unbearable kind of longing, one that words can never fully capture. My heart aches whenever I remember our old, loving days, the way you smiled at me, the way your eyes held so many emotions, the way we just understood each other without needing to say a word. I miss you, and that's something I can no longer deny. I don't know if you still think about me, if you still smile when you remember the moments we shared. I don't know if you get excited at the thought of us, or if you've pushed me so far into the past that I'm nothing more than a distant memory. But deep down, I believe that somewhere inside you, there is still a part of me. Maybe it's buried under layers of time, under the weight of everything that happened between us, but I have to believe that what we had meant something to you too. Love, if there's one thing I want you to remember, it's this: I am surrendering to this connection, but I am not giving up. There is a difference between surrendering and letting go. I am surrendering to the truth that you are an irreplaceable part of my soul, that no matter what happens, you will always hold a special place in my heart. But I am not giving up on the belief that love like ours doesn't just disappear. Maybe life has taken us in different directions, maybe time has created a distance between us, but I hope that one day, you will see beyond the illusion. Because love like ours isn't just meant to be a memory, it's meant to be something more. Your partner is working tirelessly to bring a new beginning into their life because they are exhausted from living in a reality shaped by fear, ego, and pride. For a long time, they have been caught in a cycle that no longer serves them, one that has been dictated by external expectations, insecurities, and patterns they now realize were unhealthy. They have come to understand that in order to move forward and truly embrace happiness, they must break free from the past and make significant changes. This transformation is not easy for them, but they are determined to rebuild their life in a way that aligns with their true self and their deepest desires. They know that you have started doubting them, especially because of the time they are taking to make these changes. You might feel like they are distant, unresponsive, or unwilling to commit fully, but that is not the case. They want you to know that you are their emotional fulfillment, their safe space, and the one person they cannot imagine their life without. Despite the challenges they are facing, their feelings for you remain strong and unwavering. They are aware that their actions, or lack of them, may have led you to question their commitment, but in their heart, there is no doubt that you are the person they want to be with. They are asking for your patience and trust because what they are going through is not just about your relationship, but also about their personal growth and healing. One of their biggest regrets is not prioritizing this relationship when they had the chance. They now see how much they took your presence for granted and how they failed to nurture the connection you shared. In the past, they may have been distracted by other obligations, personal struggles, or even their own fears, which prevented them from fully appreciating the depth of your bond. Now that you are not there with them the way you used to be, they are feeling your absence in the most profound way. It is causing them an overwhelming sense of sadness and emptiness. They miss you more than they can express, and this realization is pushing them to change, to become the person they need to be in order to truly be with you. Part of their journey involves healing from deep-seated codependency issues. For a long time, they were extremely dependent on their karmic relationships, people who may have provided temporary comfort but ultimately kept them stuck in repetitive, unhealthy cycles. These connections, whether with family, friends, or past lovers, played a significant role in shaping their fears and insecurities. They are now working hard to break free from these patterns and become more independent, emotionally strong, and self-sufficient. This process is difficult because it requires them to unlearn behaviors they have been accustomed to for years, but they know it is necessary for their growth. At the same time, they are experiencing many endings in their life. These endings may involve cutting ties with people who no longer align with their highest good, letting go of old habits that have been holding them back, or walking away from situations that were built on false foundations. Although these changes are painful, they understand that they are necessary for a better future. They are finally realizing that in order to step into the life they truly desire, they must leave behind everything that no longer serves their higher purpose. However, with every ending comes a new beginning. These transformations are not just about letting go, they are also about creating space for new opportunities, fresh perspectives, and a better version of themselves. As they close these old chapters, they are paving the way for a future that is more fulfilling, not just for them but for your relationship as well. They believe that all of this inner work and external change will lead to a stronger, more stable, and more meaningful connection between the two of you. Your partner wants you to know that they are doing all of this not just for themselves, but also for the love you share. They dream of a future where you both can be truly happy together, free from past burdens and unnecessary conflicts. They are striving to become the best version of themselves so that they can love you the way you deserve to be loved. Even if they are not reaching out as much as you would like, or if they seem preoccupied with their personal struggles, it does not mean they have stopped caring about you. On the contrary, you are their greatest motivation to change. They hope that when the time is right, you will see the progress they have made and understand why this period of transformation was so important. They are not just seeking temporary fixes, they are working toward long-term stability and emotional maturity. They want to come back to you not as the same person they were before, but as someone who is ready to love you deeply, genuinely, and without hesitation. For now, they ask for your patience and faith. They know that waiting is difficult, and they understand if you have doubts, but they want you to trust that everything they are doing is leading towards something better. They are hopeful that, in the end, all the struggles, delays, and hardships will be worth it, and that when they finally return to you, it will be the start of something truly beautiful, a new beginning not just for them, but for your relationship as well.